Okay. I wanted to start with s- something like it's. We have to pay for the Zoom, so it would be very nice if there's some donations from people, if it's possible. And if you have a donation, please put your name with it. Then I can thank you because sometimes I don't know who is it from. Maybe you don't want to do it, then that's okay too, of course. Well, I want to thank you. Sweet. Okay. So, and I will say that's new. We organized a meeting in Amsterdam. So that will be in July 6th. It's only on the Saturday and it's a long one. So it started 11 and then till 5. So all the rest of the information is on my website. So maybe you want to come. That would be nice. Then we see each other in person. That's also nice. Okay. So now we talk about this. How can we talk about this? It's the most normal, ordinary thing there is. It doesn't need to be talked about. And it's nice to talk about it because then it suddenly felt that it's such a joy. Life is such a joy. And that's everything. That's amazing. We always, when there's me and I'm here and I'm living my life and I have to deal with everything. There's always feeling a kind of dissatisfaction, something missing, something not right yet, or maybe not good enough. So there's a search, there's starting a search, an energy to feel better, to feel better in this threatening world, and then going on and trying to feel good about yourself, about what you do, and walk away, get away from pain, how I get rid of that pain or that uncomfortable feeling or all that. And it's looking for maybe happiness, bliss, or something like that. And there seems to be, and there's looking in maybe in money and relation, and it's always thinking like it's for a while and then it's not there anymore. So then there's maybe another thing like non-dualism and liberation and enlightenment and all those words. And it seemed like, oh, for some people, it seems like, oh, yeah, that's would be it. It's something else. It's out of the story. It has to be something else because in the story, it can't be found. So, and then there's also the talking in these meetings. It's out of the story. There's another possibility. And the strange thing is, when there's that looking for something and there's some feeling of about there's something missing or there's something not right yet, and that's coming to non-duality meetings, it's hearing from that search. So there's hearing, what can I do? What can I not do? Trying to understand, trying to get it clear, to make it happen, maybe. Oh no, we can't do anything because there's no one. But suddenly, that feeling or that belief, that embodied belief, is so embodied that it's suddenly still trying to do, trying to exercise, trying to, or maybe when there's a thought, I can't follow the thought. So there's still something going on that seems to have a choice. That choice and free will is so strong. It's so embodied and it's so the normal way of most people. So most of the time it's not recognized because that's just the normal way of doing things. And then there's hearing there's no choice. It's so stunning because then there's also no hope for something else. And that's what most people are looking for something else. Because me, when there's me and I'm living in this life and maybe with problems or it's not really everything, then there's looking for something else and not hearing that it's everything. It's already everything. There's not going to change anything. Circumstances are still going on. The only difference is it's not happening to someone, and it's already like that. So the only thing that you could say that falls away or doesn't arise anymore is the idea or the belief that it's happening to you. Yeah. But that feeling that I am, oh, it's not happening to me, and there's that noticing of everything. That's part of me also, that awareness of looking at yourself and being busy with what's going on and how can I do things. When everything is lost, even that awareness or looking at yourself or busy with what's going on is lost too. Because it's not in the body. It's not in my life or in life of Roes, in the life of Roes. There is no Roes or some other individuals. There are no individuals. And that's strange because that seems so the normal way that all individuals in the world with all countries and wars and people fighting and relating and all that. When there's me, there is relation. So there's me and you and trying to feel better about myself and feeling like, oh, I feel threatened and you have to do something to make me feel more comfortable and all that trying. When when everything is lost, what's also lost is the the assumed ability to change things. There was already no one. So that idea that you could change something or there's a free will is only a belief, a construct. It never was like that. There was never control. But that was so strong and so experienced. When you believe it, you experience and you see that's going to happen. And when it's not, you want something and it's not happening, you think maybe I'm not doing enough. So that is so strong, that belief. That's the only thing that doesn't arise is that belief or that those thoughts about it's my life and I'm doing it. Everything stays the same. There's not a different house or different body or all that. It's the same. It was already an appearance of bodies and streets and, and tables and feelings. It's only sound. It's that sound, hand, table, not for anyone. There is no one. That's everything there is sound. Without meaning, without purpose. It's sound. Thoughts, a sensation. Nothing is happening in the body. The body isn't real, so there are no borders. There's nothing solid here. It's crazy because that's so the normal way of seeing everything, experiencing everything, and then hearing that nothing is real. It's only an appearance of everything, and everything is empty. So it's felt like pain is really it's felt, and at the same time it's empty. How can you explain that? And then there suddenly it is like that, and then it's how yeah, it's suddenly like that, and there's something. How can you say it? How can you say this? It's completely different. This is not you can imagine that, but you don't need to. It doesn't matter. But when there's me going on and like trying to find or trying to get to try to deal with what's going on, then it's not fine. There can be frustration or something else going on. This is unconditional love already. It's complete as it is. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. That what is happening, a hand, that front of the body, seeing that sensation somewhere, maybe not knowing where, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. It, and it's not saying that to yourself because that can be a new concept about how to deal with life. And that me construct, that energy is very clever. It's like changing. When there's something falling away, then it's changing, and there's some new ways, and it seems like, oh, now it's more free, and it's in a new way trying to stay alive. That's what me is. Me is a survival system, so it wants to stay alive and puts everything in it to stay alive. This is about death, but it's not the death of the body or all that. It's the death of that idea, belief that there's someone, there are, that you are an individual, and that it's your life. There never was a life. There never was your life. It's life, like trees and hands and stones and sensations. It's it's a mystery. It's a miracle. How can it happen? How is that energy is going like this? It's amazing. We can talk about that, and we can talk about anything. It's also in the story, of course, in the story, because there can be a lot of questions, and it doesn't need to say in those meetings that you don't say I or something like that. Of course you do. I do, of course. It's the normal way of talking and seeing things. This is very normal. This is not a special way of living or a special way of dealing with things. It's really very, very normal. And there's no escape from, you could say, there's no escape from reality. In reality, it's an apparent reality, but it's that what's happening is it. Whew, full on. So we can talk about that, and you can ask questions or share if you want to. And it's in the recording. The recording works on sound, so you can open your screen and then you're muted, so you will not be in recording. Or you can, when you want to say something, you can unmute yourself. Or maybe you can write it down or type it in the chat. There's a chat function. And I will read it and say something about it. And we'll see what's happening. And it's every word. So it doesn't matter the way you say things or trying to describe something. It's not only about the words, it's the way the talking is happening. There's so much and different energy in that. So words are one thing, but it doesn't matter how you talk about things. So you can ask things and be not really clear. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Or saying nothing.
Hi, Rose.
Hi, hi.
How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. Thanks
You?
for saying that. Yeah.
Ah,
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for
mm.
saying that because I'm here, sitting here, sort of trying to construct the sentence to express
Ah,
myself.
yeah, of
And then you
course.
said, don't have to
Ah,
be clear, just say it.
that's funny. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know. It's
Oh,
funny.
God. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said last time, the things lost lost a lot of interest in a lot of things.
Mm.
And it, but it's sort of like a feel a little bit dull,
Ah,
not the aliveness. The aliveness is not there all the time. Sometimes I felt it, but mm, yeah, I said I felt it, but the aliveness is there. But a
mm,
lot of times it just feels the dull. I mean, like I don't really mind it. Uh, yeah, but sometimes I found I want to talk to someone.
yeah,
Um, but it's really hard to find
yeah,
anyone around me that can
yeah.
understand it.
There are not so many people who can talk about it. It doesn't mean
Yeah.
it needs to be people in non-duality meetings, but they're not so. Most people are so into the story. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But when
So
there's what
some,
I recognize, can I say something
mm,
about it?
yeah,
Then,
sure.
what can be when there's a loss of a lot of construct or beliefs, there can be a period of desert, and that I call it desert, and that's
Mm,
what I also saw with Tony, that when
mm,
it's a desert, and that's like there's a loss of a lot of things, so that's you
mm,
can't go into that. There's no interest. You
mm,
can't go,
mm,
but there's
mm,
not always yet there that aliveness or that everything.
mm,
It's everything.
mm.
It's it's everything. So
Yeah.
it's
No.
being in between in a bit, like the desert.
Um. Mm,
Like it's I don't know if that's the same, but like the story of Jesus, he was 40 days into the desert. I don't think it's 40 days, but it's something like it's
mm,
that same thing. Like there's something going on. There's the loss of that world thing, like
mm,
the loss of
mm,
being interested in all those stories. And then
mm,
there's something, and that's energetic. It can be in and out, or it's so different for anyone. I had that
mm,
also. There was for me it was like a year just
mm,
doing things, but for the rest I wasn't interested, but I couldn't no, like reading books, but not really, and then that fall away. So
yeah.
so something like
Yeah.
that. And then for
Yeah.
me it was even that after that year I there was something going on, and I was full on in the story again. So anything can happen. It
Oh.
doesn't mean it's like,
Oh.
I'm very close. It can
Uh.
all because some things are so strong and so yeah, how do you say that? Of that, um, that you believe it very again, and then that's
Mm, mm,
strong.
mm,
So
mm,
I
mm.
was in that because it's very tempting, and so
Yeah.
it's everybody's different. In the same time, it doesn't matter. But for when you're
Mm.
in it, it feels like I want that aliveness because that's like it feels like, oh wow, that's something. Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah. That's
Also
why.
that. But the strange
Uh-huh.
thing is, and that's what
Uh,
maybe it's like when there's that feeling of which is a bit like dull, that sensation is also everything.
mm, It's
Aliveness is
also
not
everything.
like, it's
Mm.
tired and more like that. It's
Mm,
everything. And there can be
mm,
subtle that longing for, that aliveness is really like, yeah, that's it. But
mm,
aliveness is everything. So that
mm,
every sensation and how it's going
mm,
is already that too.
mm,
Maybe you
mm.
don't want that. Life isn't interested in you.
It the mind definitely doesn't want it.
No,
The
no.
mind definitely
Yeah.
doesn't want it. It's
Mm.
just It's just,
Mm.
yeah, I can sense the depth.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I always notice these days, this body is doing something.
Mm.
I don't, I don't even know why I'm doing that.
No, I don't. No. And that, but it's also, we think that there has is meaning in anything, or there's a purpose, or all that. We're so used to that. And when that's not that
Mm,
strong anymore, it seems like why there's still maybe that question like why. But life isn't about why, it's what's
mm,
happening. Like little children, they don't ask why, they do. They just do or don't or boom. And then when the brain can more analyze and all that, then there's asking why and meaning, and it seems like that's life. It's
mm,
there's no meaning in life. It's what it is. That's the beauty. It's just what it is. It's just sitting or I don't know, walking.
mm,
And it's not about you also. It's also the couch
mm,
or
mm,
the wall. So nothing is more important. We are so used to focus on what I feel and what's going on and what I do.
mm,
But it's
mm.
also the wall. It's the same. Yeah.
Yeah,
So there's no liberation. There's that. No, it can't because it's everything
I
already.
know. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nowhere to go. They just,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I know.
Mm.
It's, yeah, it is a
But
dead
this
end.
it can be subtle. When there's that sensation like bit dull or that. And there's subtly that looking at it, and there's always dividing. That looking is always dividing, and oh, I don't like
Yeah,
this and all that.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
suddenly that looking at it can be for some moment it's not there, and then there's that same sensation, and it doesn't feel like dull. It's what it is. It's completely different,
Mm,
and it's the same sensation or the same.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank for asking this. That's the question. Is literally everything empty? That nothing is solid or real? No, no. There's everything is empty. It's empty fullness. I like that. It's full, like it's sense. There's a sensation of pain or feel. You can't even. Sometimes you don't even know what the sensation is or something else. Sound. It's empty. There's nothing real. It's an appearance. It's an appearance of things. There's nothing happening. There's only nothing. But of course, there's apparently everything like walls and seeing seeing like couch and all that. But everything is, there's nothing real. No. It's crazy because when we are there and I'm here and all that, when that then solid everything seems to be solid. And then there can be falling away some things like it's not that seen like solid again. For me it was like the world of every that fell away and I didn't the wall or the walking on the floor. I thought like, oh yeah, that's not solid. And that was suddenly moments it was very clear. But what for me it was the body was real, was always real. I didn't think the body is real. It just was real. Never imagined that that could also not be real. So and then suddenly I couldn't see the body, and that was like a shock because that seems so the normal way that I was always there. Mm, yeah.
Yes, I think that you just said something like the pain is felt, but it's also not real.
Yeah.
Can you please say a little bit more about that? Or the person
Yeah.
cannot get it?
How can I say that? We assume when there's pain, it's happening in the body, and the body is real, and
Mm,
I'm real. So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's the experience is like that. So it's felt also like that, and that makes it like.
yeah,
And there's something also going on. Like I don't want that because it's suddenly or
yeah.
stronger. You want to feel good, and maybe you think like, oh my God, what's going on, and all that with pain like that. And then suddenly, how can I say it? It's more like suddenly it's like the pain is there. It's really felt and it can full on.
Mm,
And in the same time, it isn't. That's it's empty. How can you describe that? It's so this is the describing. And that is
mm,
completely different because then there's also nothing going on trying to get rid of it. That's lost. It's not that I think like, oh, I let it go, I let it be, or things like that.
mm, 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 mm,
No,
mm, mm, mm,
no. Well, it's full on, and there's nothing going on. It's not even. It's not only not knowing how to do it. It's also there's nothing arising trying to get rid of it. It's that pain, and that's going, and it's
mhm,
empty, and it's complete. When it's solid, it feels like yeah, there's something else going on also.
mm, 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 mm. So
It's
you said
difficult to say.
the pain is felt. Is
Yeah.
that the body
Yeah.
feel the pain? The body have the function
No.
to,
I don't know.
huh?
No, no, because nothing is real. So that's in
But
the
what felt
story.
the pain? But what felt the pain?
Nothing. No, that's how we are so used to think like I am
Yeah,
feeling this and I'm
yeah, yeah,
hearing that. So
yeah,
if it's not I, there should be something else, or there's awareness
yeah,
of, and so you can see things because without
yeah.
awareness, there's nothing. No, without
Mm,
awareness, everything still goes on. It's awareness is part of that construct of me. Like I'm looking at myself, and that's how I see or feel everything.
mm,
It's crazy to hear that without awareness, everything goes on.
mm,
There's no rows. So it's pain, it's
mm.
sensation. That's and it's how does it? I don't know. It's not. I don't know. It's like that. It's
Mm,
felt sensation and sound, and we're used to jump on it and saying, "Oh, what
mm,
is this? And why is that?
mm.
And all that." It just is. There's no why. There's no explanation. It is.
It's just it. Mm.
No answer. Oh
Dead
God.
end again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
We're
Thank you.
so
I think there's
used to
a
look. We're so
mm,
used to be around, and then
mm,
looking at it and being busy, and then hearing, "No, it's pain, full on. That's live or wall." Well, when there's walling or pain, it's full on
mm.
and then something else. I don't know. So something like that.
That
It's
sounds
stunning.
amazing.
It's stunning
That
because
sounds amazing.
it's and it's not nice or because pain is really pain. But in the same time, it's also unconditional love. But unconditional love, you can't also. It's not a feeling. It's not a feeling.
uh.
So how can you describe this? You can't. I can't.
Yeah, I asked Andreas
Mm,
about this unconditional love because I always hear that and I don't really get it. But he said, like I asked him, is that the same feeling like an innocent? And he said yes. Is
mm.
that similar?
Innocent.
Mm. Because I don't,
I don't
I
know.
can't
Yeah,
get
maybe.
unconditional love. What is
No,
unconditional?
you can't get anything. That's the joy. You don't need to get it. Oh, wow. You don't need to get
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
because it's what it is. That's it already. Trying to get it,
Mm,
it's making it into something. And then already it seems to be lost because the grasping tries to get something.
mm.
That's, it's, it's already, you could say it's hiding by trying to get it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
that's
definitely,
but that's
definitely.
so strong. You cannot not do that because
Mm,
there's nothing wrong with that, but it's hiding.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. It just, yeah,
Mm,
I
yeah.
cannot do anything
But there's no you.
because there's no you. Yeah, there's no me.
It's not you can't do
Yeah, this is a
anything. It's there's no
yeah.
you.
Mm,
That's completely something else because then
mm, yeah, yeah. I
and
say that because it's the only intellectual understanding, so
yeah.
it's not the
Yeah.
energetic. It doesn't come
It can be
from.
an understanding or being very
Mm,
clarity about it.
yeah,
But
very
it's
clear,
it's
very
just
clear.
something, and then but it's more energetic. You sense that too. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
because that's like yeah, that's you have that also in daily life that suddenly is an insight about something, but about
Mm,
oh why I'm doing that. It's so clear. It's for no use, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen anymore. It's just
mm,
embodied. So that's yeah. And then
mm,
suddenly it's lost. That whole yeah construct or that tension is
mm,
lost. And then sometimes it's not even noticed. And after a while you think like, oh, it's just how yeah, of course. It's suddenly like that.
yeah,
So it's so
yeah.
energetic. You can't it's always different for everybody, you could say like.
Mm, mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
And it's already exactly the way it's going. That is showing itself or whatever
Mm,
is happening, that's already complete. Mm, mm.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And there's somebody saying. It's funny because I had a realization that nothing was solid when my body was floating out on the bus floor, which was very frightening. But then the world seemed solid again. So it's strange. Yeah, but it can be like that. Can be moments. Can be some. I had that too. I was walking through the floor, and then after that, everything was solid again. Yeah, it's in and out, in and out. It's being and meing. It's suddenly me is back again, and then everything seems to be solid again, and then suddenly, maybe for a moment, or some sometimes it's certain things that are not that solid, and other things are really solid and real. Can be money. There are some issues like money or relations or something like that. Because how we deal with things, that everything is something to deal with, or try to change it, or because everything is something. When it's not something, it's not solid. And we try to imagine it or trying to feel it or things like that. There's no need for that. It's already. So the trying is also obscuring it. It's amazing. It's so. And then suddenly there's nothing going on. And then suddenly, can be for a moment or something else. Because it's exhausting to try and to do and to, but it's so embodied. So it doesn't need to be exhausting because that's the normal way. That's the energy, how it's going. You're used to. Mm. Do you have ideas about writing another book? No, it isn't there. It's the funniest thing about writing. I did write before, because and that's about education with children. I did write some books about that. But also when that period, it was like, and that is the same. Then suddenly writing is arising, and that energy is going on, and it can take a time, and then suddenly they're sitting and writing down thing, and then it's for a moment, for an hour or something like that. It's writing some places, and then suddenly it stops, and then there's nothing going on, and the rest of the day there's nothing going on about it, and suddenly that next day maybe it is there or it isn't, and then if it's there, there's writing, and that's how it's going. And now, so it's not up to me if I want that or not. It's suddenly coming, and then suddenly there can be writing. So This time, there's nothing going. Sometimes there is something going on, but then there's only writing maybe on the website. I thought, oh, it's coming again because I love it to write that book. I was really liking it, and then it's writing on the website and things like that, and then it did wasn't there anymore, and it didn't come back. So I don't know when it's coming. It's so nice sitting. I was sitting somewhere. I was at that time, I was near the beach and I was sitting there, just looking over there. And then suddenly sentence came up and then writing down and I was sitting and drinking my coffee and wow, I love that. Mm.
Hi, Rose.
Hi, hello.
Just saying hi and maybe something to share.
Yeah.
Like last week I had like something energetic like happening. It feels like something fell off. I don't know exactly what.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I got like some kind of tsunami of emotions and stories, coming like.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really it was really very, very heavy. Even stuff I forgot, like from childhood, very old stuff. And it was interesting to see, like, that on one hand, it was like very heavy, like very painful. And on the other hand, there was some kind of just like not doing anything with it, sort of, which, not really try to understand, like there was not really energy behind the stories, even though the stories was really like the emotions were very heavy. And after that, like it felt like I don't know how to describe that. It like felt like I call it sweetness or like some kind of alive. Maybe you say aliveness, but more like
Yes.
sweetness.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was
Yeah.
like just I don't know where it is. I don't know what it is. But it's like around everything. I can say, like in the story, I can say it's just like around everything. So even with the emotions, very heavy emotions, that like in the past time I would be like totally.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I would go nuts. Really, I would be so in panic and paranoia, like, and so yeah, it's just interesting to see.
Yeah.
It's in a way very sweet because I'm still have to deal with it. It's quite a lot of stuff.
Uh, you don't. It's just when there's that emotion, they're coming and just coming, and
Yeah, but
that's
also to see like all the stories, like
yeah.
I
There
think
can be
I think
story with it.
yeah,
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 sure.
but I think what is a little bit shocking in all of that, like all the stuff like is like somewhere, I don't know, like in the apparent body. So you have all this stuff
Mm,
inside.
yeah.
You don't even know it's there, and you don't even know that it's so actually
Yeah.
from the inside contracting and the inside sort of
Mm,
controlling the body.
mm. Yeah. Yeah. Can be. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
still there. Yeah. That goes on, and it can go
That's
on
not
here.
wrong.
But that's here too. Sometimes it's suddenly here too, like that. I don't know. Sometimes there's some memories of that. I don't even know if it's really happened like that, but those memories are there or
Yeah,
stored,
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
and the feelings, and then after a while it's gone. But that's sweet. You call it sweet. I call it joy. But it's. I think
yeah,
it's.
yeah,
I think we talk about the same thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
also because that's so like the contracted energy, and when that's not that strong anymore, that can happen anything. Can strong emotions can be there and all that. Yeah, of course. But I know. I
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So you're saying it's still going on for you?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
still
yeah,
have
can be. Yeah, not that often, but sometimes suddenly there like that. Yeah, yeah,
right.
can
Yeah,
be. Yeah, strange to have also that so that story going on. Like God, what is that? Well, yeah. Maybe that's also embodied, that story with it, or I don't know. That
Yeah,
I don't even say story or memory or yeah.
but it is very different, like when there is this
Mm,
sweetness or joy around it, because it's like no matter how the story like can be very, very strong or heavy, it's like difficult to describe, but it's like it's not so
yeah.
important anymore. It's not,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's what's happening, and that you can't say that to yourself, but it is like that, and there's nothing with that. So that makes it not solid and real. And what it's felt, of course, it's felt
Yeah.
and heard or thoughts. Yeah.
And the funny thing that you go through something really heavy and then it's gone and then you forget about that. You don't even know what was so heavy and so like so dramatic and it's just
Yeah.
gone. So it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And then there's nothing going on. It's like, well, look at little children. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Rah, there's drama and all that, and then suddenly, yeah, there's nothing going on again. It's
Yeah.
that same stuff. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
like,
because I was going like something through something physical and I was fighting with it. I was like with the hands and the and legs and everything, and I was laughing and it was crazy. And then it was like,
yeah,
wow, what happened? Like,
yeah, yeah. Oh wow, yeah,
yeah. But
yeah,
it can, yeah, but it used to be like very, very heavy stuff, in the past time. I think that's like what is so interesting. Like in the past time, all the psychology, it was really like
mm,
really meant
mm,
a lot. It was a lot of identity around it,
mm, mm.
and now it's
Yeah,
like now it's like all that stuff can come up in a way that it's like, yeah, maybe you say little children, but it's like in a way like it's like it's allowed or it's allowed, like it's okay, or I don't know
mm.
how to say that.
There's
So
nothing holding it back or
yes,
something like that.
yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, it's
And
not
then there's
all.
no big deal anymore. That's strange.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, 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 yes. So, but this is really, this is really interesting. How that can be so different, like the same kind of stuff, but yeah,
Yeah, sure.
yeah,
Then it's taking it home, and then it's getting something, it's making it into something, and then it's
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah.
Even a little drama and crying and stuff, and then it's all gone, and it's like you just
Yeah,
forget about that. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I think what the meat does is like looping, like going over and over and over again the same
Yeah,
stories and yeah. So
yeah.
that's
But
what
that's
the
also so embodied when that
yeah,
that feeling that the body is standing in that form, how do you say it? It's like that, and then it's holding it, and you want to get rid of it, but in the same time there's a holding on
yeah,
of
yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It's energetic. It's so energetic. It's
It's
amazing.
energetic. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't do it myself. I can't do it
yeah,
myself. It's like, oh,
mm,
yeah,
yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
So we'll see what happens or not.
yeah, yeah. Of
Yeah,
course, yeah,
but also the whole stuff about me or not me, it's not so interesting anymore. Like to be busy with it in a way. Like, is there still something, or is there no
oh
one there?
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Now, what it is when there's me, there's being busy with what is going on here, or is there still me? Oh, how do I feel, or all that, and
Yeah,
then suddenly that questioning or that noticing isn't there. So I can't say, oh, there's definitely no me. There's nothing going on around it. That's that's the crazy thing, because we want to be sure. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I like that you share that. I think it's
yeah,
important to hear that. Yeah, thank
yeah,
you. Yeah,
yeah,
it is. It is. Yeah.
yeah,
It's so, yeah, because it's such a crazy stuff. You
yeah,
can't define it because you can't define it. You cannot say this.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and we want to know it and to be sure, or is there still something going on? That's what we normally use to have to look at yourself, and how do I feel, or what's going on in the world, or with me and my work, or all that being busy and all that doing and all that. That's me. It's oh, I love that, the complication and all that, and not say, and then hearing, no, there it's just nothing. is busy with that, it's like, how can that be? Then everything goes wrong if I don't do anything. Something like that. Oh, yeah. Oh my
I
God.
have to do something.
Of course. Otherwise, I won't meet my love of my life, or I don't have money, or all that. Oh, and it's so convincing. Oh my
Yeah,
God. Yeah, of course. It's crazy to hear that there's no one doing anything.
yeah,
That
yeah.
doesn't that doesn't mean there's no doing, because that was already, it's the same, but
Yeah.
only with that idea or belief that you do it. It's everything is going on the same. So that's why I'm saying, like, it's already complete. It's already, and it's only that dream, that it's like it's something small, like it's that belief, but it's so strong. Of course, you can't say it's only a belief, but that you do it, or it should be, or no. That's the only thing that doesn't arise.
Mm.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing this.
Hey, Rose.
Hi, hi.
Hi. Rose, it's so wonderful to hear just a normal talk about this, which we can't describe, because here it's there's really pain, and this and now it's not there, but it's this. Yeah, I just wonder about. This the other day I was together with my daughter and my grandchild. He's about 1 year old, and he was screaming like hell about something, and it was so wonderful because it could have been me.
Ah,
In a way, the same pain, and this wonderful that my daughter just was standing there without doing anything, but just together. And
ah,
after a while, it was finished, and he was walking around laughing. And
mm,
and with this, I just think, would you go to therapy with this? No, of course you wouldn't. And the same with us, when we have this feeling of pain, we want to do something and understand and so on. And it's just this yeah, sometimes you call it this yes, slip, this yeah, this always wanting to do something
yeah,
about,
mm,
especially when it's pain,
Yeah.
to yeah, I have to understand it, I have to get rid of it, and so on. No, it's this, but it's difficult. This, it is also this. It's more easy to say it's this when now I'm laughing and have fun.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Then when somebody, a dear friend, is saying, "I don't want to see you anymore." Oh, it's
Yeah.
this. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's also another method. It can't be also, because then it's becoming something else, of course. Because you don't know when there's pain, what is, there can be suddenly doing something also, or not. I don't know. It's different. Every situation, it's different. So you don't know.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. There could be something where there comes an idea that it would be good to whatever, to take
To do
medicine.
something.
Yeah,
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 or to medicine, or to do, or that's coming in that same way. So
yeah.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not only that pain or that crying, there's something else. There's a lot of energy going, and I can't say how that works, but there's a response on that.
Yeah.
In any way, and maybe there's a pattern. Now then there's a pattern. That's also how it's going.
Yeah.
Mm.
This, as we sometimes call it, the string to your mother. Yeah, I don't know what it's called in English. This
The
connection to
string.
mother.
Ah,
Crying for mother, please help me
yeah,
to
yeah,
get rid of whatever. And
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But the crying is already it. It's not, maybe there's not something else. I don't know. It depends on what's going on. Maybe there's, no, that's the story.
yeah,
It's the crying. That's already, and then suddenly there's, oh, it's standing there or something else. Yeah. And it's empty. That's crazy. It's empty. Yeah.
yeah. I can, yeah, I can think there can be a different way to handle when a child is crying. In this way, I can see. I have this idea that the child is can grow up more healthy when you stay with the child, and you are yeah, I know it can be a story, but it can it be different in when the child is crying, and then you say, hey, stop, now you have to stop,
Yeah.
and
But
the other way. Yeah,
But nothing is real. Not, it's an appearance of things, and there's no child. There's that appearance of that body, and there's crying, and that's it. There's no life of the child. There's no mother. That's only in the story. We think like there's a child, and we should do the right thing to make a healthier life or so. There is no life of that child, of your grandchild. That's only that crying, and that's everything. There's no life of the child. There's no child and no mother. It's crying. It can't be wrong what's being done. It's that energy. It's like that energy is going, and that's it. There's nothing else. There's no time involved or development or all that. That's only in the story.
okay, if you say so, Rose.
You have to believe it then. Oh my God. Ah, oh God.
Oh,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, but it's just when you are
yeah,
telling
it's so
it,
crazy to hear
yeah,
that.
it's
Oh
really
my
crazy.
God.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
goes.
it's true. And
Now I
maybe
have,
there's walking away like, oh, I want her here. Will not hear her ever again. Come on. Can be.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just want to go back to be a grandpa.
Yeah. Well, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah,
It's nice.
yeah, yeah.
Of course. Hmm.
Okay, Rose, thank you.
Thanks.
Rose?
Yeah.
Yeah, what you just said about like there is no a mother, there is no baby, there is no life. I mean, it's a big thing to say. But I was thinking like, so like there is no baby, there is no mother, there is no, but there appears to be at the same time.
That body.
And
That body of a baby. Yeah, sure. That's what I mean.
And then in the story, like during life conditioning happens, you know, all the stuff, all the heaviness, the pain, because this is what is fleshing out at the moment, like from the body, you know, all the stuff that happens in the story, right? Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and I see the stories are not real, but at the same time they were very real all my life.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Of course. But that's, yeah. And that there can be memories and really everything going on. And yeah.
That's why it's so difficult to explain that or to say that, because yeah, like there is no baby, there is no mother, there is no life, but at the same time it appears to be. And
Yeah.
all that stuff create all these illusory conditionings, but they feel very real because it is in the body. It is like in the body. So it's very,
It's
very, yeah,
it's
very
not
difficult
really
to,
it's not really in the body,
yeah,
but
yeah, okay. I mean,
it's
yeah.
but yeah, it feels real. But it's you could say apparently real, but it doesn't matter that it's not sensed. It's sensed, and there's like flash, like images or flashing, and then emotion, and yeah, that's why it's so convincing, and because
Yes.
we're so into the body and the story that it's part of that whole thing. And then it's crazy to hear that it's everything is on its own in a way, like,
Yeah, yeah.
and that, yeah, and then and it's not real. It's like, oh my god, how you can't get your head around it, and somewhere it's sensed or it's recognized also that it's empty or not real some way, because when there's those things it's just gone. And then it's about time also. When you think about yesterday, sometimes you don't even remember what was happening
Yeah,
yesterday
exactly. Yeah,
because it's gone.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Even 1 hour ago, it's just gone.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
but
it's crazy.
but when you say it's unreal, it's very difficult to grasp because it feels, yeah. I mean, there is so much suffering, and especially like psychological and emotional, that feel very, very real. So,
Mm.
and
Yeah,
to
the
say like,
pain is the pain is that
yeah,
sensed, of course. Maybe it's even more when it's empty and there's nothing, no story around. There can be a story, but it's not that convincing. Then the pain is even more full on because
exactly.
there's
Yeah.
no escape in the story. There can be a story, but there's no escape in the story. How do I say that? Yeah.
No escape. Yeah, exactly. No escape.
Yeah. Everybody thinks like it's, oh, I want this. I don't know if you want this.
No.
Well, in the same time, it's when it's empty, it's, yeah, well, it's full on. Of course
Yeah.
it's full on. And there's really, we are so, it's that me, it's so quick. It's trying to, when there's that emotion maybe, and then there's suddenly there's so, what is this already? And that's already an escape. Well, wow, that's so strong. And if
Yeah.
that's not there, it's, wow, is everything full on
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Can be so painful, or any emotion can be there. Yeah. Mm.
It's like when there is no control about it, it switches very fast. It can switch very fast. Like I can be
Yeah.
like, wow, and then like suddenly something else, and it's like, it
Yeah.
seems like chaotic, but it's not chaotic. It's just very like in a spontaneity, I think. Very, yeah, very spontaneous.
Yeah. And control can also be, it's just, it's can be very subtle, but so convincing and so, yeah, known in a way. So then it's just like going again in
Yeah.
that story, or that asking why, or all that. It's
Yeah.
an escape. And but it's, you could say it has to be, because that whole emotion, or that it's life full on. The body is used to that contracted energy
Yeah, yeah,
somewhere,
exactly.
and then suddenly it's full on. That can be too much. So then there's
Yeah.
an escape to that. It's it can't be different. It's energetic. Yeah. So it's not wrong, like you say, like, oh, there's still an escape going on. It can't be different. Of course not. But that's exactly complete. Also, it can't be different.
And
No.
even that escape, that's it.
Yeah.
So
It's energetic. It's energetic how that's going. Life knows the best, you could say.
yeah,
In
yeah,
a way.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's awful to say to people like that your pain is not really real. It's really awful, but you don't say that.
Yeah, but I don't say that to friends.
No, of course not.
No. It doesn't come. I don't know. There's nothing going on about that. It doesn't matter if people believe it. So what? I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Did you saw last chat?
Oh, no. Yeah. Sometimes a sense of guilt is felt when I'm very involved in life or stories because I know nothing is really happening or real, but I think you said nothing is wrong and there's no control anyway. But yeah, but that doesn't mean when nothing is wrong, but I can, when there's me going on in a subtle way, that there is something not right yet, or I did something not in the right way, I feel guilty or all that. That's part of that me is so embodied and so strong. So you can somewhere know and have seen and there's a clarity, but there's nothing wrong or right. And but that energy of me can be is so strong. So that's coloring. And then the knowing is just a superficial thing. And the feeling and the guilt can be there. Yeah. So it's that there's some people think like when there's a knowing and everything that they start to talk about this. And I'm like, yeah, it's not about clarity. It's not about knowing this or seeing this. It's energetic. It's a loss of everything. So it's and me there can be then when suddenly there's that awakening, like suddenly there's suddenly seeing like, oh, nothing is real, and then suddenly and then it comes back again and then seeing some things as real and suddenly, of course in the story can be very convincing and takes you in that guilt or all that. Yeah, it's so energetic. That's what I mean with energetic. Well, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's guilt. It's a story, but yeah, there's no control, but there can be, there's somewhere, there's knowing, there's no control, and that's very obvious. And in the same time, suddenly in the story, there's something going on, and it's really controlling the situation. Yeah, that's well, that's so that can be so strong. Yeah, it's both then. But that what is happening, it's there's no story of someone. And that's what we normally think. There's something going on in my life, and still, I know there's nothing happening, but still, I'm in the story. And we are so convinced that there's a life of me going on, and in that life, there's something right or wrong, or it should be maybe not thinking that there should be no guilt anymore, then, or things like that. But there is no life of anything. There are no individuals. There's that feeling, and that's everything. That sensation or those thoughts is everything, and that's on its own. And there's a sensation, and there's a face, and there's a couch, and there's sound. It's what it is. Only that. And then there's, oh, I'm living in that story and all that. That can be. And then suddenly, oh, sound. And then, oh, and then suddenly there's the story again and living in that. So there's just life. And then there's that me again. And then me living in the story with all all ideas, because it's energetic. Me is energetic. It's not something, it's energetic. Ideas, concepts, beliefs, how to behave. So many. Looking at yourself. And hearing there's nothing wrong. It's amazing because everything is about, do I do the right thing? I should be maybe more, and then maybe not only hearing, but something else is going like, oh, there's nothing wrong. That's the longing in a way. The longing is for it's everything. Oh, it's everything. It doesn't matter how it is, what it is. It's unconditional. There are no conditions. That's in life. There are always conditions and rules and how to. And then hearing and the longing for somewhere it's known, or it's felt like, oh, it's unconditional. There are no rules. There are no rules. That's the freedom. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter. It's everything. It's not a certain way. It's not something. It's not thinking anymore, or no anger anymore, or it's exactly how it's going. That's life. And if it's seen like a story, then it's seen like a story. So what? It isn't. What? So what? Nothing matters. That's such a freedom. It's so everything. That's the freedom.
Rose,
Yeah.
would you say that everything is just a singular, random happening, so intimate, so no time, but somehow the human brain can put it into time, cause and effect, and this, and then that, and then that, because of this, and that happens, and that sort of story in the sequence?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Um,
yeah. Yeah. Thank you. That's nicely said. Yeah. It's singular. Yeah. Yeah.
no connection, sort of. There's no chaotic.
Yeah. It's
It's a
chaotic.
chaos.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a chaos. Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
But would you say that in the seeming, the parent before and after, like the sort of awakening, we call that awakening.
Mm.
The brain, the function of the brain has changed, where some part of the brain that works before stopped working. Would you say that?
I don't know. Well, there's a difference, but I think when everything was not of that whole construct wasn't happening anymore. I
Mm,
think there's also a difference between then and now, because now it's more obvious and more, and it's stronger, and that no escape is so much stronger than you could say in the beginning.
mm,
Uh, and also time, that construct of time is also it's how can you say that, it's forgotten more strong, more quickly. Yeah, it's a bit strange to say that, but it's really
mm,
when it's there, and it's not there immediately and I can't get it back. Or it's when for example, when my
mm,
husband and me, we like playing games, and then it's about
mm,
winning, so I'm really like, I want to win, and then he wants to win and all
mm.
that. And
Yeah.
then after the game, it's completely forgotten. And then he says, yeah, I was winning. And I really can't remember who was winning. So that's going so quickly. And before that, we were really involved in like that. And it's completely gone in that moment. Sometimes it's not always the same. But so something like that, time is, it's still there. There's starting in time on that still. I don't know. That's how it's working. It's energetic. So I think there's a relaxation. I don't know how that's working in the brain, but there's a huge relaxation about what's going on. I really don't care what's going on. I really don't. No, it really doesn't matter what is going on. It's everything. It's not saying it's everything, but it's lived like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's yeah.
It's funny, I share this story, right? Last week, I took my dog for to do her dental clean, but because of the neglect of my care, I didn't brush her teeth every day. So that poor thing had to get her teeth pulled out because the tooth were rotten.
Mm.
I felt so. I felt at that time I felt devastated. I blamed myself, but it didn't last long.
Ah.
I sort of forgot
Oh
it.
God, yeah.
I felt so guilty. I was like, "Oh, you're so bad owner. You neglect her teeth, and now you forgot it's such an important event. You should blame yourself for the rest of your life. Why you forgot so quickly?"
Yeah. It's funny how that's going. It can be so strong, that feeling of, oh God, I did I'm all my dear dog and all that. And then it's gone.
Yeah.
Can happen here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it is gone.
That's it.
'Cause
Yeah.
I thought,
Yeah.
not that I thought, but there's a feeling like a problem solved. That's it. But then the guilt kicks in. So it was like you should remember. You should always blame yourself.
Again,
You
because
should feel guilty.
yeah.
Why you forgot it already?
Yeah, that's that survival system. Like, yeah, hello, I'm still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's nobody listening. Oh wow. Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the dog, the funny thing is the dog is also
They forgot. Yeah.
not busy with what's going on. It's like that.
No.
It's
No,
that.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
The pain's gone and then it's finished.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, all those moments, and all those moments
It's
where
funny.
they,
Yeah.
when it's important, then whoa, suddenly that whole story starts. Of course.
So that's also the mind trying to survive, just trying to get here.
Yeah. And then when it's forgotten, it tries to come back again and again. And then it can't. It's so funny how that's going. There's nothing, and it's not you doing that. It's just not going. It's just not listening. It's just going like that.
Yeah. It's just like the habit of momentum. The habit is still
Yeah, it's
running
when it's
slowly.
embodied, then it's can be very strong and coming on, going on. And then suddenly that's falling away. That energy is not that strong anymore. So it can't stay very long.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes it can and can go and so, yeah. It's here too. That can I think that can happen. I don't know. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Interesting.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you. Oh, wait.
Thank you.